Hey guys, Dan here, Daddy Speed Shop. Back in the Nomad as per usual. Now hey, got a lot of things planned, I'm going to tell you about it today. But before we do that, let's play a game. The game is 2 sill plates, a set of Nomad tailgate bar clips. That's what's going to hold these bananas on the tailgate. 1 gas tank O-ring, and a pair of brakes, the brake light, they separate the tail light and the reverse light. How much is that going to cost? Canadian dollars. Put that in the comments real quick here. I'll give you a few minutes where I give you the answer. On your way, as you're scrolling down in the comment section, you're going to pass a little button that says subscribe. It's free to do so, and it makes a world of difference for myself. Anyways, today we're going to kind of get this thing mostly finished off cosmetically. There's still going to be a few things we want to do. Obviously, we're going to put on the trim on the tailgate, which, why else would you have a Nomad if you're not going to put that on there? By those ridiculously expensive clips. I have a buddy coming over in a couple of days, but it'll probably be in this video. We're going to letter up the quarter panels. We're going to have a little DD Speed Shop added to both sides. I'm excited to show you on that. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag just yet. We're going to put on the sill plates. We might get the fuel tank all dialed together with that O-ring. We'll see what happens. On the inside, I'm thinking we're going to work on maybe some kick panels. I might do this when he's doing the painting, but for sure on the B-pillar, oh, the light's on, but you can see where the headliner goes into the door panel. That's just bare steel. In the factory cars, the headliner wrapped down in the trim. That is long since mouse eaten away. Yeah, this little band here I'm talking about. So we'll get the tail lights all done. I think what we're going to do for the plate is I'd like to just get a license plate light that screws right in, face down, and we'll just hang the license plate off the bottom. Once we get one, what else we got going on? Maybe a coolant sensor, a few little odds and ends. I don't want to run a front bumper. Let me know what you think there. I don't know. I think it's kind of short list. I can maybe take this thing for a little test shot. We still take the rear end in and get dialed together, but I'm sure by the time this video is out, that is happening. Now, have you all guessed? Now, this did take a long time to come. The guy gave me a bit of a deal, I think, because we had to get shipped twice because the first one got lost. All of this, look at all these things. I think there's 33 clips. This is $250. $250. This is what's killing hot rodding. I can't even justify it in my own head if I wasn't already, chest deep into this car. It's crazy. Had I probably known what this thing all needed, if I knew more about Nomads, I don't know if I would have tackled this thing, or I would have gone out of the gate completely with different build as a race car, or I would have turned it into an El Camino, or done something ridiculous, because it's just the prices are bananas. And I know I'm broken record. I know everyone's going through these issues, getting stuff, and when you do get it, it's a fortune. That's just kind of the way it goes. So bear in mind, if you're getting yourself a hot rod, be prepared to pay. My labor not factored in here, I'll make money on it. But if you had to pay someone or you value your labor at any sort of amount of money, this is a losing money proposition. Anyways, now we're all done. Let's work on the back. I'm excited to put these banana strips on. Hopefully I'm not too negative today. So a little update. Here's what we got going on. So it's pretty simple. It's a little tedious. So there's these little kind of kickouts, and these clips just slip over it. So I got with a pair of pliers. Now, unfortunately, some of the little mounts, as you can see, like that, are missing. At the bottom there. So I had a couple missing on this side too. All I did was just JB weld them in. Way she's gonna go, unfortunately, and then yeah, holding on. A couple of them had the tabs are broken off and stuff. So I'm gonna get that side taken care of. I did put a couple on. They're very simple. They just kind of snap in. This one actually, it doesn't even. I don't know. Might have to put a little silicone or something on the backside. I don't really want to lose those. The centerpiece, I had to do a lot of modifications. So if you're a Nomad guy, turn off now and come back in a few seconds. Now you're supposed to have, I think it's called a skull crusher, hand crusher. You're supposed to grab it, it's supposed to have a push button. I didn't have the mechanism, so I modified, this is a garage door lock, and made it work that way. So, could be prettier. I gotta do something with like getting a couple washers, or I can also find another one of these if I do. This is just made out of that cheap white metal, so I didn't want to grind away too much of it. But it works, does its thing, so we can't complain. The other ones literally just all pop in, which is a little alarming, because I mean, like, this one's already coming out. So, I don't know. I may have to expand that clip a little bit, or maybe these have to be bent a little. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm going to get back to JB Weldon, and hopefully these all go back on. It's the next day. I worked on this thing a little bit last night to no avail. Had a small fit, so let me run it by you. So these little bars aren't fitting the best, which we kind of knew yesterday, so I went on the old Nomad Facebook page and asked around a little bit, and ultimately a lot of people said, man, they kind of don't fit that great. They said double check, make sure, you know, these aren't, well, the aftermarket ones don't really fit. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say these probably ain't aftermarket. These are off some car, doubtfully this one. The guy I got the car from, Bill, he put it in with the deal, which is just super nice of him. So I'm not complaining. They don't. It's the clips and the overall design don't fit the best. Some people said that the clips, the new ones, aren't as good as the old ones. I had a couple old ones that Dawn sent me, and I looked at them. Now, I tried screwing around with one of these, maybe in this one. So the way these clips are, I tried to fold out these little tangs. They come like that. So like just like a friction fit. And when I looked at some of the clips Dawn sent me, some of these tangs were missing. So I thought, well, maybe these have to be pulled out and it pushes past it and those tangs grab it or something. But that didn't really seem to work either. So people had all sorts of ideas to try and bend these and all, and like reshape them and screw around. We're not doing any of that. This is junk pot metal. I think if you put any heat to it or anything, it's going to break in half. The fact that they're all together is a win. I don't even care if they fit in the car perfectly. I just don't want to lose this on the side of the road in Atlanta or down there or something like that. So that's my concern. Some people said window urethane. Window urethane. So that's what I did to these end two. I filled the holes in with a little goo. Oh, a few more things. So people said, well, you could put some threaded ends on there, which I had those thoughts as well. Not a bad one. The problem is, that's a lot of screwing around, but more than anything, the only access is this hole right here. And I mean, I can't really jam my hand in there to get to the end. So you could do it on maybe a couple of the center ones. That's fine. I wanted to glue on some of those, the Christmas tree style, like kind of push pin, whatever they are, like for plastic junk. But this is a 1/2-inch hole. So that I've never seen like a Christmas tree clip that big. Not to mention, there's like 36 or whatever. So even if they're $1 each or something like that, and all screwing around, and like it's just an unbelievable job. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue these on. We're gonna set the camera up. You guys can watch and look at the absolute mayhem we're gonna cause. Then one of you will have a great idea in the comments. Unfortunately, it's a week too late because I've already done this. But you know what? The window urethane is not the end of the world. We can always clean it off. I just had to repaint it or whatever. Ultimately, this car, if I'm going to keep it, which who knows what happens, I do love it. It needs a proper driver's side door and it needs a tailgate. So throughout my travels, realistically, I have no issues, paying up to find stuff. People have offered me stuff, and I appreciate it very much, you guys. And I'm willing to even pay up for stuff, but the shipping and all, it's just brutal. I mean, a door, people want $600-700 for it, which is a lot of money. But if it's what you want, it's fine. But double it by the time I get here, and I just can't justify it. If I'm down there, I can look around, maybe get some stuff, and go from there. Same with the deck lid. Let's buy a brand new one, because I'm money bags. Let's get the camera set up, and we'll go ahead and screw this one up. Okay, so I did, before I started putting these together, I kind of went through in each little bar to as many as I could, see if maybe there was some that would fit better, in case there was a tweak in the trunk lid, or I don't know. I mean, I did the best I could in my mind before I immediately lost interest. This window urethane, I like to heat this stuff up a little bit, so it's actually hot to the touch. I had it in front of the heater, just it comes out easier. Goosh is better. Man, I'm probably pissing off Nomad guys, detail trim guys, and windshield guys all in one foul swoop. The best part is we're just doing this because we're wasting time until my good buddy comes over to letter this thing. That's the saving grace of this video. Okay, so we got those all kind of gooped up. Now what I did is in the boat, you know, the boat of the trim, you want to go ahead and fill that up so it just kind of sticks over, you know. There we go. So it'll have the gooshing effect. This stuff's cheap. A nightmare to take off, but you know what? By the time I take it off, Mer will be back. Oh yeah, we'll put a little bit on this pin. There we go. Put that on the ground so you get junk everywhere. Now these. And that's kind of it. As you just look at that. I don't know. So we'll push that in, we'll let it do its thing. That is not sticking at all. A few people said just hit it harder. That's not working out for me. Maybe we'll try taping that one. Well, it didn't go great. We used a small amount of window urethane, but it's on there. We'll let that dry overnight and do her thing. Put the other taillight on. Pretty sweet. Actually, the reverse light had a big crack in it, so what are you gonna do? 60 whatever year old stuff. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna put in the sill plates, which I have on the other side. We'll just go ahead and trim the carpet, put it in, kind of finish it up in here a little, make it look very nice. And then I think that's it for right now. Tomorrow is paint day, so before we go tonight, I'm going to wipe down the quarter panels with some mineral spirits, so I get all the junk and whatever off them. I'm sure he'll do it again tomorrow, but I'll just do a quick job myself, get as much crap as we can off here. A little bit of cleanup, and that's kind of it. We're going to finish it off by, hopefully we get one side done at least tomorrow. I guss we'll see, or maybe he'll just pencil it. He's going to come in and hand do it. Man, what an art that I wish I kind of had. We talked about last time he was here about kind of learning how to do it with some stencils and all that, and you gotta support local, you know. I probably have all the skill in the world, but I'd rather pay a guy. Plus he's buddy and he gets to stop by and we get to hang out. That's what Hot Rodding's all about. I spend a lot of time in the garage by myself. So let's get set up and we'll put in, this one, the carpet kind of goes over a little bit. Hopefully we have enough carpet. I didn't have it shifted, which I easily could. Oh, there's a big gap there I can probably pull. Hey, I'm talking to myself. We'll get set up. Well, now, I wiped down the quarter panel, but so I thought I would put one sill plate in. I'd show you how to do the other one. So it went pretty decent. We didn't have a lot of material. I had to really give it a tug. But the other side, I don't know. My memory's not as good with these stupid things, or what the deal is. But the sill plate's a lot thinner than I thought. And this one here, if we kind of put it where it wants to be, we kind of run out of carpet. Now, not the end of the world. We can fix that because there is a little extra in the tunnel here, as you can see, so we can pull that over. Unfortunately, to do that, we have to unbolt the seat. Well, this is where the laziness is coming in. Unbolt the seat, pull it over to put one sill plate in, to then bolt it back together because I need this thing to be drivable-ish. I hate having stuff that doesn't run and drive. So then, anyways, the seat's coming. Gonna get it reupholstered. It's a different seat, which needs a different bracket, and all sorts of screwing around. So this one's in for now. It's done really poorly. I don't know if you saw, I just had like 1x1 square tube with some long bolts through it. So it's not permanent by any means, but it's enough we can drive this thing in and out of the garage. And if we want to bring the Opel in or something like that, it's much easier to do with a seat in it. And no point redoing stuff twice. Got this side wiped down as well. Nothing has fallen off here. Man, my hands though, they're feeling it from being cleaned off with the old mineral spirits. We'll let that dry overnight, and then tomorrow will be fun. Mostly because I don't have to do anything. I get to sit here, shoot the breeze, and watch those things gonna get painted, which old school lettering is the coolest thing on an old hot rod as far as I'm concerned. How many cars can have DD Speed Shop on? We're gonna find out here right away, but looks cool. So be back tomorrow with art. All right, it's tomorrow. These things are okay. They're all pretty stuck on there. The one I had a bunch of tape on, it's just the most unhappy. I actually put it closest to the hole because I thought if I had to screw around, put like a stud or something on it, easiest to reach through. The rest are okay. A little bit of the, what's it called? The window urethane kind of up to the side, but good enough for who it's for. I know a lot of people are losing their mind about this, the lift gate not fitting. That's just Nomad thing, dudes. They get all twisted and bent and mangled, and we're gonna live with it. I mean, the tailgate itself is all beat up. It's glued together. We don't have the proper push button. I mean, this is, I was gonna say budget, but it feels like it's a blown budget and we're still not getting what we want. Anyway, buddy's coming over to paint that in a couple hours. I just got home from work, so I want to clean up in the shop. But before I do that, I want to load this into the back of my truck so I can take it to my driveline guy and just make sure everything's gonna be good and it's worth putting money into. So we're gonna get Danny out here real quick. We'll get that loaded. Then I'll probably see you later once Joe's here. We're painting. Should be a fun little evening. Okay, we're back from dropping the diff off. Didn't go that great. Here's the best part of the day. I'm the best dressed person in the shop. I wore a new shirt. I'm pretty stoked. Anyway, so my buddy Joe's here.
Hello.
So I'm gonna link all the stuff in the bio. We already talked about it, but he's gonna start lettering it up. So he's hand writing it, or hand lettering.
Yeah.
Anyways, so tonight I'm gonna bother him a bunch. I'm gonna hang out here and waste a bunch of my time and watch him do his thing. We'll come back in a few stages, maybe have a little time lapse. Maybe Daniel put a little rouge on or something like that. And this thing's gonna look cool. Maybe just one side. We'll see how much. See how the night goes. But I'm excited. This is like the best part of the whole build. Huh? Jeez. Okay, so what's happening now? Everything's been kind of penciled out. I'll show up on camera. But the first step is putting on that's like the glue, because we're gonna do DD Speed Shop at the front here, and that's gonna be gold leaf stuff. So that's gotta go on and set up for a little bit. It's turning out pretty sweet. I mean, when you pay for the best, you get the best. He's the only guy that answered the phone. So, making people so mad, double D Speed Shop. And we went around the fuel door, because I know a lot of people didn't want this damaged. I know, it's like original patina right there. So, we'll see how that goes, put the glue on, and then I think everything else is just going to be in, you know, just in white script. It'll look super cool. Pop on this hot rod. Okay, so we got drama. So now it's like drama central because it's, well, the pressure's on. There's only like 100,000 people watching. It's just me.
Okay, don't. Oh, look at it. Oh.
It's fine. It looks good. So we put that on. You peel. I don't know how it works actually. I don't even know how I should give any directions here. But the gold goes on, then it comes off, and it looks perfect. I think it looks great, buddy. So we're gonna making people already killing it, and then we had to take. Well, I say we, but I have nothing to do with this. But the gold has to go on because the glue is telling us. We'll see how this one goes. You gotta let the glue talk to you.
Something like that. Yeah.
the high pressure situation. He's stressed. I think it looks great.
So stressed.
It looks fantastic. Man, it's so thin. So obviously where there was glue, the gold kind of stuck, just patted on there. It's coming out. That's coming out cool. This is all my idea.
Yeah.
So
I didn't do anything.
So there's zero blame. Actually, I photoshopped it. So if anyone wants to complain, I did all the work myself. But I think it's gonna look fantastic. So oh yeah.
I'm sorry, there's any.
No, you're good. I'm being a pain in your ass. That looks cool. So now we're gonna brush all that off. Well, again, I'm doing nothing, but I feel like I'm part of the team. And a little bit of white scripting around it. Oh, I'm pretty glad I went with the gold. I had to strong arm him a little bit.
Show that I don't look like a schmuck. Hi.
Hi. So I missed it because I went inside to cook myself a fancy dinner, but I guess it went over after like a cotton swab thing and got the texture all cool. So after he eats, the Danny hopefully didn't poison him. A little bit of white on there and it'll look great. Yeah, thanks, babe. All right, so it's the end of the night. This needs one more coat, which will happen tomorrow. But for right now, we're gonna leave it. Tomorrow I'll come back out, we'll do those transition strips between on the B-pillar. I think this looks freaking wicked. I think we might put a couple little red doodad stars and kind of stuff like that. But I think it pops. It sure changes this thing, that's for damn sure. I love it. Next day. So Joe's on his way over. He's gone from work, but so the bigger letters just need a second coat. Took a lot of paint there. I guess that's what happens. You take the lead out of paint, right? But while he's doing that, I don't want to mess around too much. But until he's here, I should say, I'm gonna work on these B-pillar pieces. We'll get this all dialed together. But I'm just gonna trace it out. Hopefully, I should be able to have it sit behind this piece of trim, and then this. Unfortunately, there's not much in the front to hold it, so hopefully that'll give it enough. We might just have to put a screw in the front here and have it kind of curve into the headliner. Actually, on that side, you know what? I'm missing that piece of trim, so that's the problem. I wonder if I should make that side first. Whatever. We'll make this side. That should all be covered in trim anyways, so really, I guess I gotta bust out the Visa and get on eBay and buy another overpriced piece of trim. But we'll get this cut out. And we're just gonna wrap it in some black vinyl, like the back and the dashboard. I think it'll look nice. And how about that dashboard, though, eh? Hoo-hoo-hoo! That should work out nicely. The piece will wrap around. I might do a little trimming yet, but the mount holes are still all available. Also, I'll trim this up so it's nice and straight. And, follow this top bit right across. We're golden. Trace it, wrap it up. So Joe's back. He's painting the thing. This is our one panel we've made. So I gotta test it the other side, but that one I know will fit. This is the trimmed out one. It might need a little bit around the trim, but I don't want to hop in the car while he's using his steady hand. So just second coat here, which looks fantastic. Work on the other side. You gotta letter the back. You gotta do your own. You gotta letter the tailgate.
I will. I won't forget this time.
You won't forget. That looks freaking fantastic. I think
You're actually some dialogue in your video now instead of just my laughing in the background.
Yeah. So then, we'll put that on the whatever somewhere, and then maybe a stars. We're gonna do a couple stars, eh?
Yeah.
I think that'll be kind of cool. I think it turned out fantastic. Gets the point across. We're pissing people off. Everyone needs a Nomad. All right, we're back on the microphone. But, man, the interior, I know you guys are just dying to see what this interior turned out like. So I got the one paneling over there. I think it turned out pretty good. I tried to keep it kind of in line with the top of the trim. This one here is a little loose. I was gonna put a screw in it, but really, I need that piece that goes around. That'll be just perfect. It's all pinched in there, kind of holds it tight. It really draws your eye away from the, the giant holes there. Anyway, are you ready to see this car all done? I'm pretty excited about it. I kind of want to drive this thing outside. The paint's kind of like, it's only dried for a couple hours. I'm sure Joe's fine with it. So this name, what we came up with, I put out the, what should we name the car? A bunch of people gave a bunch of comments, and this one guy, Vaughn Richard, I believe his name, sent in a quick sketch that I really liked, and it was part of the design, and it was making people so mad. That's what he had come up with, and I was right into that, because let's be honest, this 55 Nomad pisses a lot of people off. People think I shouldn't have it because it's such a nice car or something like that. I'm just ruining it. But at the end of the day, this thing was a junker that is now back on the road almost. And I thought we would just modify it a little bit, add an extra D, and do DD Speed Shop. So making people so mad. And I wanted the gold leaf. I think it turned out freaking sweet. So again, thanks to my buddy Joe. Traveling Sign Painters, or TTSP Studios. He's on TikTok, what he's doing right now. But there you are. I think it's just the right amount to kind of show off this car. My favorite look, of course, is like a 60s or 70s hot rod or dragster, or drag car that's been backed into someone's garage and completely forgotten about for a bunch of years. And I kind of think this is what we've gotten. You have to remember, these Nomads are valuable now, but back in when they were new, in the 50s and 60s, they did not, well, in the 50s, they didn't sell. They were junk. Nobody liked them. So by the time I'm sure they were 10 years old, there was idiots like me that could afford these things and put rat motors in them and drove them and radius the wheel wells and all sorts of stuff. And ultimately, that's what we're trying to recreate, except now we have a really solid base of a car, and it looks fantastic. Now, let's fire this thing up. Let's drive it outside in the snow. It's on the lift. That might be a bit of a hassle. We'll do it anyways. I want it outside. That's why I want to get a picture of it. I want to see it in the sun, and then back it in and forget it exists for a little while. Pretty solid plan we have here. Well, we ended up kind of getting into the hoist a little bit. I didn't want to. Well, these are $1,000 tires, and I'm broke, so I didn't want to do too crazy of a burn. I got to put some small tires on this thing and just melt them, because this motor wants to go. But sidewalls aren't that tough, and I like this thing. What do you think? I think it's pretty cool. Not just the exhaust falling off, we're fine. This car's worked out pretty good, from an absolute pile of junk to a less big pile of junk. I'll just shut it off there. All right, well, that's it for me for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks again to Joe for painting this thing, and you guys for all your ideas. I'm gonna back it right into the garage. So we got the paint dry real good. It's only been a few hours there, so I'm probably screwing it up as we go. It looks so cool. These look awesome from the back end, these Nomads. The bumper's not perfect, the grill bars aren't, or the tailgate bars aren't perfect or nothing, but it is what it is. Thank you very much for watching. As always, leave a comment below, let me know what you think. Hopefully you love it. And feel free to comment about the painter's technique, because he was worried that there might be some experts watching and he wasn't perfect. But I love that guy and he does awesome work, and I can't complain whatsoever. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel so we can continue wasting time and money on old junk. It seems to be everywhere. It follows me home. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.